Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand ourselves, how this meditation practice will help for us to develop our day-to-day conventional life, and at the same time, out of that conventional development, how we can gain our spiritual success. So we need to remember our life depends on our own actions. So this is what called the cause and effect. So we are responsible for our life, and we are responsible for what we experience. But in day-to-day life, we mostly spend our time for other things like material things, physical world, so other people, like that. But one thing you have to remember, once you start to get kind of like a weaker, sick, old, and little by little you start to die, this world not going to help you. You can't ask any help from the world. Little by little, everybody push you away. So this happened to you. Even your own body, you can't depend on this. Material things, you can't depend on that. Only thing is then, you have to have some kind of spiritual practice within yourself. Because end of the day, that's going to become the protection. And then by the time when you get old, you have to have some kind of wisdom that you develop out of your spiritual practice. Because when everything rejects you, then you can be with that spiritual practice. And by the time, it will help you to have undisturbed mind. And once you can die with undisturbed mind, then you're not going to go to a lower existence. So before you die, if you are capable to understand deeply and attaining to liberation, it is possible, but in case if it is not going to happen, the next step is once we die, not to go into a very low existence. At least come to the human existence. And if it is possible, go beyond the human existence to more higher existence. So somehow then, you have to remember the way you live, going to create your next step. So that's why practicing something spiritual and practicing with mind, having the tranquility state, having undisturbed mind, become kind of like a guardian angels to you. And nowadays, as you know, the meditation is very popular. And there are many reasons people come to meditation. Nothing wrong with that, anything. But when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, this whole practice has a way, and at the same time, it has a purpose. So somehow, with all this cultural practice and activities, prayers, meditation, this everything direct you towards that goal. And one is deeply understanding the truth. Another thing is to realize what is exactly exists, or otherwise the emptiness. But when it comes to emptiness, it is not easy sometimes to accept it. So I tell you a story. There is a forest in African countries. There is a forest called duck forest. It's a very dark. Why it called duck forest? Because when people go there, it's very dark and they feel kind of like afraid, fearful. Their heartbeat start to become faster and no any sound, and they most of time they can hear their own heartbeat. So it's called duck forest. And there was a young, healthy man and live in this forest with some kind of animals, like a little farm. So there was a cow. And so somehow this one angel come every day and early in the morning take the milk from these cows. And this guy wake up and look, no milk. So one day somehow he catch this angel and ask who you are. And the angel told, I am come from above this sky. My home is this sky. I live in this sky. And my family and my friends, everybody live in the sky. And the guy told, so you have to marry me. Because he lived alone in the middle of that jungle and he found this angel and he told, you have to marry me. The angel told, I promise to do that, but first I have to go and get my permission from my parents and I have to inform them. And there is a tradition that our parents give a gift. So if you are like to have that gift and appreciate it, or you like it, then you can have me. But if you don't like that gift, don't accept me. So the guy agree to that, because he going to now the angel agreed to become the wife, marry him, and at the same time they, from the parents they get the blessings, and not only that, he going to get a gift from the heaven. So then with that agreement, he released the angel and she went and then came back. There was a box. So he told, this is my parents gave this. This is what we have. And this is our everything. So they gave that everything to me, because me is kind of like everything for them, that whatever they have, they gave to me. This is what it is. So if you ready to accept this, you can have me. So guy was so happy, he thought, oh my goodness, heaven, and that maybe, angels, families, it have something. So he get the box. And then he opened it. He looked, it's empty. There's nothing there. He got so mad. He thought kind of like these people, play with me. And he got so mad and start to blame to that the angel, their parents, and it's kind of like making kind of like a fun, having a joke, because it's empty box. So he asked, why you do this, such a thing like this? Why you cheating like this? Because it is empty. There's nothing. So that's the angel told, this is why I told you. We live in the sky. And we are angels. We don't have anything. We live in the emptiness. That is the place we live. We enjoy the emptiness. And we breathe the emptiness. We eat the emptiness. And that is the most highest treasure that we have, emptiness. So this is what only this we can give to you. And the guy got so mad. He told, I don't need you. I don't need your emptiness. Go away. That's the thing with us. We always look for something. But ultimately, this everything empty. Even though through the science, even through the understanding, you recognize that, but still we can't accept it. We can't digest that truth. We always need something. Even we get the emptiness end of the day, still we can't absorb it, or we can't handle that truth sometimes. We always manifest, or we always hold into something. So experience means we need something. We're always thinking about something or somebody. So then always remember, understanding emptiness means seeing yourself and recognizing you are empty, rather than manifesting yourself as somebody with the self-identity. So with that self-identity, we try to gain something through the meditation. So because of that, what happens now, the meditation is kind of like something kind of like art of manifesting, creating, visualizing, gaining. But when it comes to this meditation, there are 4 reasons. There are 4 pillars here. So always you have to remember, in that 4 lines you have to practice. So, first one is, it called Ditta Dhamma Sukha Vihara Samvattati. That's mean in this conventional life, as an ordinary person, that you have to remember that gaining the true satisfaction as an ordinary person, that doesn't mean you gain that satisfaction holding something, no. Gaining something, no. Releasing. And rather than gaining something and becoming happy, there is a happiness when you release things and become happy. Rather than hold it to something, or rather than becoming somebody, when you experience the total, this emptiness or neutral state, there is a happiness. So always, rather than go with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, desires to find the satisfaction, withdraw from it, there is a satisfaction. So in the conventional life, you can gain it, you can have it. Just imagine, nothing wrong with this material world, nothing wrong with this anything. It is good for you until you get tired about it. But when the day that you become tired about it, what will happen? You will withdraw from that world and try to find the happiness. So that's mean what? That's mean, so before you withdraw, you thought, oh, having this I can be happy, but now you recognize having something, maybe it disturbed to your peace, tranquility state, and then now you try to withdraw from it and become happy. So it's kind of like a 50-50, but ultimately, there is a happiness that you have to remember neutralizing, calming down, settling down, like water. So practicing meditation, so one of the reason should be to practice, to have that tranquility state of your physical material world. The mental calmness, developing tranquility state before you go into high mental powers, it's a tranquility level. Rather than having a busy mind, you have a very relaxed mind. So that is one thing. So the first, that is the first step. So the next one called Jnana Dassana Patilabha Samvattati. So first one called Ditta Dhamma Sukha Vihara Samvattati. So that's mean in this very lifetime, by living, there is a happiness rather than this sensual pleasure. So gaining that tranquility, happiness is one purpose. The next one called Jnana Dassana Patilabha Samvattati. That means Jnana Dassana Patilabha. So there is, when you see something, hear something, smell something, taste, feel, so there is some kind of wisdom that you have. We call it knowledge. But Jnana Dassana means there is a more deeper understanding that you can achieve rather than having this conventional knowledge. So practicing meditation should be one reason for you to achieve to that higher frequency or the higher wisdom or higher knowledge. Another thing is brush up, clean yourself. Because when your mind become purified or when your mind become clear, out of that clarity, whatever the recognition happens, that recognition become more clear for you and accurate for you. And out of that perception, you don't make mistakes. You don't misunderstand. So practicing meditation, that is a one reason. That is what the one result that you gain. Purifying your knowledge and make it kind of like a wisdom. And the third one called Sati Sampajanya Samvartate. So that one is develop the awareness. So this is very important because there are some meditations, it rather than develop the awareness, it disconnect the awareness. It's kind of like a mesmerize you. It take you to kind of like a dream state. And you don't know what happens there. This is a kind of like you get higher dopamine level and then hallucinate, you caught up in a hallucination. So there are many kind of meditation and people have many kind of like ayahuasca, many kind of like things, and people use different kind of mushrooms and many meditation techniques and many kind of mantra chanting to get into this trance, get into this kind of like hallucination. Then people live there. But the thing is, it is not forever. After 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you have to come back. It's kind of like drugs. And once you come back, then always you start to think about that whatever you felt, and it's not going to happen again. And then you get disappointed about these things. So that's why meditation should always develop a very sustainable awareness rather than gain that awareness through something else. Because nowadays we see even now it's kind of like a river. This pharmaceutical industry make many kind of tablets to develop this brain power, make this brain power more high. So that's why we experience it's kind of like people used to have morning prayers, evening prayers. People used to have some time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes for their spiritual practice. And mostly first in the morning, last in the evening, people used to do that things. But in this new world, these tablets are kind of like our prayers. Early in the morning when you wake up, you take a lot of tablets and start your day. And before you go to sleep, you take a lot of tablets, maybe vitamins, minerals, so many things you take and you drink, you go to sleep. So these pills become the prayers now. And so then you have to be very careful. If there is a reason, if there is a health issue, and with the permission from a doctor, if you take some kind of medication, it is okay. But unnecessarily, and you think you are the doctor and you think this is good for me, that is good for me, and you take everything and you drink, and maybe by the time this inside whole system, become messed up. Because there are some tablets mean chemistry. So there are things you can't mix together. If you mix together, it can become poison. So then you have to have that knowledge. And you have to know what is inside the tablet. And then you have to know, if you mix something, even the vitamins, then unnecessary things you accumulate to your body. So now this related to this brain power, calmness, and vitamins. So these things becoming more popular day by day, day by day, day by day. And people also buying it, taking it. And their purpose is gaining the happiness or the success, and so kind of like that. So then first you have to remember what you mean by success. Because most of time nowadays we see the becoming more faster is becoming kind of like a success, speed. If you have a very, fastest computer, fastest network, fastest the cell phone, and fastest memory, fastest internet, this kind of thing, people think it's kind of like a very successful, very fastest driving, very fast jets. People think it's kind of like achieving success. So, but you have to remember then what you mean by success. What you mean by happiness, that also very important. Some people think the happiness and they take it in a wrong way. Very disturbed things they hold as happiness. Very unhappy things they believe as happiness. So then it is your responsibility to say what you mean by happiness, what you mean by success, what you mean by meditation, what you mean by mindfulness. So you have to find the meaning for you. If you don't know, that's why you have the doubt. That when you have the doubt, you can't practice. Doubt mean what? Doubt mean not, don't. From where, that is where doubt comes. If you don't have it, you have a doubt. If you don't know about it, you have a doubt. So, if there is unclarity, know about it. Be very clear about it. And see, is it that is what you want? If it is not, then you have to change it. So that's why practicing meditation, it never going to take you to kind of like a very blank state. It never going to take you to any trance. It never going to take you to kind of like a mesmerizing illusion. It always develop your awareness, tranquility state, clarity, mindfulness. So those are three things. The fourth one is the most important part. So the practicing meditation, and the purpose should be to eradicate all the mental formations, sanskara, or the cankers, or the roots that hold with the greed, hatred, and the delusion. But most of time, just imagine, you want to become happy, successful, and you believing about something to gain yourself with the self-centered identity, and maybe you start to do something every day, and then you say it is meditation. Of course, it can be, but it's not going to be this kind of meditation. So Astravashraya means that you have to have the knowledge and wisdom and intention to uproot the desires, reduce the power of the greed, hatred, and the delusion, reduce the power of unwholesome action, reduce the power of unprofitable actions. So when you have that intention, it strengthens your practice, and at the same time, it never going to take you to the wrong direction. So that's why that to practice meditation, you can do any training, but you have to remember yourself where it take. So this meditation, tranquility meditation and vipassana meditation, this both method take you to deeper into this purpose. So one is gaining the root through very real, sustainable happiness, not gaining kind of like a hunt-together happiness. Go and get a happiness. No, releasing from yourself. Harness with the emptiness. Deeply accepting it. Becoming comfortable with emptiness. And develop the wisdom. Understanding the very conventional level of clarity. See things exactly as it is rather than the way you want to see it. The third reason, develop the awareness rather than caught up in hallucination, rather than get into dream state, rather than get into a trance, you develop the clarity, awareness, and see the reasons how things come to be as they are. The fourth one, uprooting all the mental desires, mental formations, this greed, hatred, and the delusion. So if you are capable to practice little by little with these reasons, and that is where you gain that liberation, transformation, or by the time, the Nibbana. So then be very clear again and again, listen to this and make your path very clear with the purpose, what you want out of this practice. And apply these 4 reasons to yourself and manage it with your own life. And design your own path with these 4 pillars. Then whatever the high that you go, you're not going to collapse. It always go higher, higher, higher until you gain into the liberation of the Nibbana. And you're not going to get lost on the path. Day by day, you will gain the confident clarity, and that through that clarity that you will experience the causation or the cause and conditions. And through that, you will recognize how things happen in this inside world within yourself. And then you will experience what is this mind mean, how this become like this, how the experience happens, and how the experiencer experience this experience. So once you have that clarity, then anymore you are not practice. Because yourself, your life become itself. There's nothing to practice. Don't think this every day. Don't try to practice every day. Practice is kind of like it's good for babies. So little by little, once you master it, then your life need to be like that. So that's why once you have this wisdom, You can brush up that wisdom by practicing, but from the beginning, that whatever the practice we do every day, few minutes, don't plan to do it till you die. There are times come that we can't do this anymore. Our body will become more weaker. Our eyes can't see. Our ears can't hear. We can't talk like this. We can't move here and there. We can't do any more practice. Even our mind, that whatever this come to our mind, maybe things will go away. We forget things and we start to keep telling something else. We go out of the track. So if we go depend on this mind like this world, it will happen for sure. But if you go beyond this and attaining to the higher frequency there, you're not going to experience that. Even the body become weaker. Even this eyes not going to see, ears not going to hear, even the mouth cannot talk. Still that what you practice, that develop it, master, it's going to be there with you. So that's why have it. As soon as possible, get that, master it, absorb it to your system. It's used to be like bloods. It need to be kind of like a blueprint. It need to be kind of like a shadow. And then it's everywhere with you. No, that's why don't be limited only for practice time. No, 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 no. Whatever the moment you practice, you sharp the wisdom, clarity, and you absorb it to your life. Your whole life should be kind of like a practice. So with that, let's get into practice for a moment now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So scan head to toes yourself 3 times and say Suapatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Being Suva, Prelo strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma and the Sangha. Also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya Dhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sanghang Pujemi Attaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Charavyadi Maranam Ha Paribunjissami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vang Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu Bless you.